That's right. We promised not to answer any questions. Okay, I'm sorry.
I thought you weren't answering any questions. You said you wasn't going to answer the question.
You did say that.
Okay, no. I'm confused.
Okay. All right. Make sure somebody looks at his jitsu before you get on and try to come back and bother. Okay, congratulations. She was born in North Carolina, but she came from Baltimore and was a school teacher and educator for years. Ms. Ethel G. Coleman, a Baltimore educator, passed away. She was buried yesterday. And, well, she has a number of children. She has a son, and she's survived by two sons, and she's survived by Reverend Gordon Ray Coleman of Durham, and two daughters. And she was resident of Ashburn, so we just want to send out our sympathy for Mrs. Coleman's family. All right, Mr. Douglas, you can hold your hand up. Or you, Mr. Henson.
Well, now that we have this my fellow radio thing, I'm so confused by that announcement. He's running these songs, but he don't want to sell it. He's doing the fair. You know, he's running with the train. He don't know if he's going to do it. Okay. Anyway, he's ready to go.
I ain't mean to start nothing, man. I was trying to give him.
Talk about something constructive. Big tax. These people in Baltimore City, the mayor and the city council have lost their mind. Once again, they want to put 10 cents on every bag when you go to the supermarket, and they try to justify this foolishness by saying that, oh, they care about the environment. They're trying to clean up the environment. Well, everybody knows that the bags that you reuse again, because you put meat in it and other stuff, it suffers from salmonella, all kinds of bacteria. That is not the solution. But all I can think about now is 10 cents on every bag. As if poor people, in many places in my district, Mr. Conway, the household income is $24,600. Now, that's not one family, but a household. Now these people saying, in that my neighborhood, that you can find a supermarket, when you get there, they want to charge you 10 cents per bag. And what's wrong with these people? The mayor's talking about she's ready to sign it. The city council, you got this Brandon Scott boy, he's nuts. Talking about, he's saving this and saving that. Okay, his actions is not wrong. Well, you know why he wants because if you think, okay, so here's the deal. Every tax they can find and put it on you. Now they taxed you to death, so they say let's put 10 cents on a bag at the supermarket.
On top of an accumulative 42% increase in water bill, a bottle tax, a rain tax, and every other tax they can find. I mean, they're just taxing the citizens of the city right out of Baltimore.
First they said it was environmental, right? So they claim that, and it's a strange argument about this, whether plastic is a problem over paper, but they say we don't care if it's paper or plastic, we still gonna charge you 10 cents. So how is it environmental? So this is a bunch of crap. This is the most awful thing. When will the people of Baltimore City get tired of these folks? What's wrong with
I
it?
think they're tired already.
They want to exempt the farmers market, though.
Donna,
Their places.
let's reference a minute Mr. Pettit's talk about his time former, well, he's defending the family, the West family.
Mm.
There seems to be a good cause for cameras on the police that would have proven that they beat this man to death rather than him trying to defend him.
Oh, they'd have turned them off.
Absolutely.
And I think there's a hearing next week, so you want to talk about that.
It is. Delegate Frank Conway has House Bill 116, which comes up for public hearing. That means public testimony from anybody like that and anybody who wants to go up there and urge their delegates to vote in favor of this bill. It is on Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the Lowe's House building right up there in Annapolis. And it is to require that cameras be placed on the officers of police officers across the state, in particular right here as well in the city of Baltimore. But the question is, in the bill language at this point, it goes to regular officers in terms of in uniform. It excludes plainclothes officers. Now, if I'm not mistaken, with the West, they may have been jump out boys, and jump out officers, what they call jump out boys, don't have uniforms on. They have street clothes on. And so I would definitely urge that they include plainclothes officers who they claim in the legislation as detectives. I know certain detectives are undercover and they don't need to have cameras on. That's fine. But when you have these officers in plain clothes like the jump out boys who act in the same manner as an officer does, but they're really targeted for specific guns, drugs, or whatever, they also need the cameras on because these are usually the officers who do the most violence to the citizens of the city.
Do you plan to testify?
Oh, absolutely. And the NAACP Baltimore branch is in favor of the legislation as well.
Okay, so the legislation needs amendments in your opinion?
Yeah, I think that needs to be amended to a point that I understand detectives undercover don't need it, but I think that these plainclothes officers, jump out boys, certainly definitely need those cameras
Well,
on them
I
as
would
well.
go further than that because we're in a society now where everything is watched. You know, every movement, you go to the store, you go to the bank window, you go to the gas station, you go to 7-Eleven, all the phone calls are captured, all the emails, everything is watched. So this society is wide open, so why not have cameras on all police for that matter? I mean, we're being watched 24 hours a day anyway. And so if it'll do some good, then okay. I mean, the part of the problem though is we remember the famous Rodney King beating. That was all on TV, and Rodney King wasn't found guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean we saw the whole nation, the world saw them stomping that boy, kicking him, and all of that was still found guilty. So the problem is still with the police commissioner or the mayor or the county executive, the executive officer still has to act, even with the cameras, because these people, as in the case of what I discussed this morning, they have all the evidence. Look at that.
I told you.
Okay. They have all the evidence, and they still, in spite of the evidence, to go in a different direction. So it has to. The cameras are a big help, but it's got to come from the top.
And the state's attorney, you're right, needs to be able to prosecute those cases when it's amenable. This state prosecutor has yet to prosecute one single officer that's been involved in a police-involved homicide and or in custody over beating of an individual over the past 3 years, which was almost 40 different counts in 3 years, and that is a big problem.
It was the killing of one of their own.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He shot down with 12 bullets by the police, and he was in identification with his badge on his chest. What was the common denominator in all of that? They had soul.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Mr. Conway,
I was going to say something. Oregon, you on again?
I'm sorry, jump out. You don't want to knock out the ticket doing that.
Corbin, can you get legislation and get it to us before Tuesday? Okay, be very helpful. Thank you, my friend, and enjoy the sunshine.
And,
We gotta go now. We got the board is up.
and the legislation should include penalties, like Carlton said. If they shut it off, will an officer be responsible for that? And the fiscal note on it is I think that was the biggest argument on Facebook. How are we going to pay for it? Now, I didn't hear anybody fussing about when they had the fiscal note, when they put the cameras inside the vehicles on the dashboard. Many of those will be transferred over to the uniforms. But in Baltimore City, the number one fiscal issue that we have before the Board of Estimates on a regular yearly basis is the payout to individuals who sue the police department for beatings and other things. So this would help alleviate the money that we pay out through the Board of Estimates in Baltimore City to cases that they can't prove otherwise. So I think in the long run, it'll help the city of Baltimore financially.
I think also that we should ask the casinos in Baltimore and other places to contribute to the payment for these cameras. Now, I think they made about $64 million last month. That's a lot of cabbage. It would be a good public relations move, I think, for them to pay for the purchase of the camera. Anyway,
Yeah.
Mr. Dunn.
Two things I want to mention that we need to talk about before we go off air. Number one is this audit of these cameras. It seems to be a hot issue for the mayor right now. She's over in D.C. with her rest of her buddy mayor. And the other thing, have you heard this commercial where they hollering about they trying to fight this runoff bill, talking about the dog poop coming down into the bay, infecting the crabs and the fish, to stop this
Rain
tax thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have you heard this song?
Yeah,
have you heard this song about it? I think it's ridiculous.
And why do you think it's ridiculous?
I think it's ridiculous, number one, because the tax itself is ridiculous. So to come on and put a commercial on to try to save a ridiculous tax bill in the first place, to me is ridiculous.
Okay. Mr. Henson.
Hey,
Shall we go to the lines?
yeah, that was a
Okay.
wonderful idea.
Wonderful. Al, you've been home a long time. How are you, my man?